Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with Ion Cinema, here to review Bliss, the third film directed by Mike Cahill, which premieres on Amazon Prime February 5th, 2021. Cahill, of course, was a Sundance darling with his 2011 debut, Another Earth, which he followed up with 2014's I, Origins. His latest kind of straddles mental illness and simulation theory in ways that are both interesting and potentially disappointing to the viewer. If you've experienced his previous films, you need to probably get over that some things will just seem either illogical or not as ambiguous as you'd like to experience them. If you're willing to go for the journey, I think Bliss has a lot of interesting things to offer. It opens with Owen Wilson playing a guy named Greg Whittle. He works for some terrible-looking IT company called Technical Difficulties. Clearly, he's kind of lost in his own mind, doodling pictures of a dream house all day, and he's fired. He has co-workers played by Madeline, Zima, and Joshua Leonard who don't really show up again. His boss, played by Steve Zissis, fires him, but there's an accidental altercation. The boss hits his head and dies, and Owen Wilson, Greg, has to prop him up in the windows behind the curtains and flee. But he doesn't go far. He runs across the street into a bar to have a drink, and he meets Isabel, played by Salma Hayek. And there she tells him, like, oh, you're real just like me, and we're in a simulated world. And then we go off on a journey involving pills and powers and a brain box and theories about how humans can only know bliss if they know misery. And as we come to find, potentially, Isabel and Greg are from a blissful world and have been experiencing, for research she's doing about how humans need to go have these simulated experiences of misery and nightmare, ostensibly. I find it fascinating that Cahill's film is opening the same weekend as Rodney Asher's A Glitch in the Matrix, which I think those two films in conversation with each other would be a fascinating double feature to have and discuss afterwards. But I think it hits on some of those things, those dangerous tics about simulation theory and the human tendency for solipsism and the dangerous actions when we commit when we feel there are no consequences. That film, Bliss, I don't know if it is as sophisticated as, maybe you won't even have those thoughts in your head, but there are a lot of moments that I found touching, much like with Another Earth, but mostly they're due to Nesta Cooper playing Emily, Owen Wilson's daughter. She's only in a handful of scenes, but there's an emotional component to them which I think really make this film worth watching. Salma Hayek I find interesting and entertaining, and again, I think the illogical inconsistencies are kind of let off the hook by the time you get to the end. But there's really no chemistry with Owen Wilson, and I think because of their casting and our expectations of them might have you confused about settling into the tone per se. I was reminded of course, Vanilla Sky and its superior predecessor, Abre los Ojos, but Terry Gilliam's Fisher King was coming up in my mind a lot, where Robin Williams plays a homeless man who's gone through a significant trauma and kind of lost in his own fantasy world. And also a Kim Ki-duk film called Time from 2006. Not in the simulation theory part of this film, but as in how we yearn to re-experience certain things, and maybe we can only do them if we go through something terrible. Shot by Marcus Forderer, who also lends I, Origins for Cahill. I think there are a lot of interesting ideas. I think you'll either want to grapple with them or not, which should determine your response to the film. Overall, I appreciated what it's doing. I'd give it 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.